stop feeling guilty about the work-life balance that you think is common, but actually it's destructive. I'm going to show you in today's video how we can reframe this work-life balance perspective and live a little lighter and merrier. Hi, I'm Laura, and I like to help people make intentional choices, taking one intentional step at a time to live lighter and merrier. So come along, today's walk and talk. By the end, you will have in your kit a way to reframe work-life balance. You will see how we ultimately connect to nature, and that will help us set our new normal insofar as how we think about balance. And also you will learn eagle pose. I'm going to show you an easy posture that you can take out on your walk to enhance your overall wellness and notably your stability. So your balance. So when we can view the present moment as the most precious, bring all of our attention to here and now, then we are more apt to focus on the quality of the time rather than the actual quantity of time, like a 50-50 split, for example. Focus on the quality of time that you're giving a specific task, person, or hobby, rather than the amount of time you're giving it. We are challenging this scale. We perceive it as sort of like a 50-50 scale balance insofar as work-life, and that's destructive. It's not helping us feel better about our lives when we have certain obligations to fulfill, like work, and we also want to give the best to our families. But we can challenge that split, and we can again look at more intentional time when we are in those different circumstances. Midlife is a great time to reflect on this because naturally we are starting to question things, starting to question your thoughts, your actions, your behaviors, how you participate in different activities and when and with whom, etc. And so we're naturally wanting to live the next half as our best half. And so this is a great time to shift and pivot on the perspective of work-life balance as well. As we know, work-life balance is always fluctuating and adjusting. So to think of a scale as 50-50 is not quite accurate because different moments in our lives, different activities, different people and situations require different amounts of time. And so if we can get out of our mind this sort of fixed notion of an equal split, then we lighten our load, so to speak, and we are able to live a little lighter and merrier. I think just recognizing that these situations, that life fluctuates, is enough to give us space to accept something different than a 50-50. And here in midlife, we have the courage to align more authentically with what we know is true for ourselves. And if you're like me, you want to evolve and you want to align your thoughts and your actions with your newfound values. The illusion of a stable scale of 50-50, an equal split, gives us lots of problems. So let's do away with it. When we can't give our full selves as we would desire, because work or family obligations take up, a large parts of our time, that leads to frustration, leads to other things as well, like anxiety, because then we're kind of counting time, counting the minutes, and realizing that we're not going to have enough to give to the other situation. And so it just kind of festers and bubbles and creates all kinds of ill feelings within. We might even experience resentment to one thing or another because we're not able to give that equal time and energy to the other aspect that we'd like to so much. As we start to resent, we also start to sort of pull away. And this is problematic because then we are participating less in life. And the desire for being perfect actually drains us more than it nourishes us. So it's really important now to recognize that we can think differently about work-life balance, and we can shift that perspective to an ever-adjusting and fluctuating sort of weighted scale depending on the situation we're in, and bring more presence to the actual event or group of people that we're with at that given time. And we can be fully present, giving all of our energy and thus living a little lighter and merrier. So come with me, let's adjust our own perspectives of balance rather than being in equal split, but rather to presence in the present moment. And in so doing, be aligned with that present moment, be engaged with that current priority. And so what it ends up being actually is a moment by moment intention. So your balance comes in insofar as the grander plan, the grander scheme of the activities that you participate in, whether it be work, other activities in life, that overall you give the balance when you are giving focused, intentional time to your current priority. All right, come on over here. I'm going to set up for eagle pose. This will be perfect here. All right, I'm adding in eagle pose to our set of easy and accessible yoga postures that we can take on our walks, because it's a great one for improving your personal balance, your body balance. It helps to build your core strength here, and as well as a bit of flexibility in your upper body and shoulders. So I love to include this one in on a daily walk. You do now what's accessible to you. I realize that this posture could be a little bit difficult to enter into, but just start with what you can do. And time after time that you practice it, you may notice a gradual improvement in your stretch, your flexibility with this posture. Just like an eagle, we're going to imagine ourselves being very clear. We're going to be very focused, and we're going to be very still. And we're going to really attune inwards, and we're going to develop that inner focus so that we can be more intentional and choose perspectives that help us live lighter and merrier. You find your footing. You want to be steady and stable to start off with. You're going to then put your weight on your left foot. Your whole foot should be touching the ground. Your arms are out to the side to help you get balance from the beginning. You raise one foot and you tuck your right foot, your toes, behind your left calf. Once you feel steady and stable there, you're going to bring your arms up, and then you're going to interlace them and have your palms reach. This could be the difficult part. Again, you do it what's available to you. Draw the elbows up, and just through the crack of your wrists here, you are looking at a fixed point. And you can even try and sit down just a little bit. You are aligned, you are still and stable, focused, and this builds your self-confidence. Gently release and release. Come into mountain. Nice inhale and exhale. Great. My hope for you in doing these yoga postures as you go out on your regular walks is that time after time, the investment that you make to do them compounds. Your stretch, your strength, and your flexibility all improve because you are regular about including various yoga postures into your daily walks and your daily movements with intention. And the intention is never to be perfect. The intention is to take the moment, invest in yourself with this time, with this activity, and have these moments to draw your attention inwards, to focus on building your inner clarity, your inner confidence, and your inner resilience. And so that when it comes time to make decisions that most impact your life, you have that clarity of decision, and you know yourself so well because you've spent a lot of time in your internal world that you can, in a second, make a decision that helps you live the life that you want to live. There's a couple main things I want you to understand as we're going through this video and questioning work-life balance. And we're actually dismantling, it's a movement to dismantle the 50-50, that everything should be equal all the time. Nah, that's destructive. So let's look at it like this. Have this key understanding that balance is an ongoing process of adjusting to the current priority. It's a conscious, intentional sort of effort to focus your energy, focus your attention, and your thoughts towards that which is before you. And secondly, in those moments, in the present moment, it is quality over quantity. In the moments that matter most, you are present, and this overall will create the balance that you need to feel better about yourself. So eliminating distractions, for example, whilst you're in a current situation is of utmost importance so that you are fully engaged. You are not distracted and you are not disrupted from the task before you or the people before you. A few top tips to eliminate those distractions so that you can enjoy and be present and experience the fullest of that particular moment are, I'm sure you're aware, but setting boundaries. So, what really knowing yourself is important because you're going to be more apt to say no to those that are just going to distract you and disrupt you. And you're going to say yes to that which does nourish and which does sort of fulfill your goals. Also, you can practice mindful transitions. So, whilst you're shifting and pivoting from one situation to the next, you're going to take some mindful breaths. You're going to perhaps take a walk. You're going to listen to a fun song. You're going to help yourself make a mindful transition so that you are closing off that one activity and you are moving to the next one with ease and with grace and with your very best foot forwards. Another top tip is a digital detox. So, whilst you're engaged in that activity or that person, the current priority, you have notifications off. Perhaps your digital devices are in another room or tucked away in your bag, but you are enjoying the moment. Too often, I've been out to dinners, for example, and had people in my company on their phones, and like how disruptive is that? So one thing we can do to really enjoy the fullest of that current priority is to hide our devices. And a couple other ones, of course, you can walk for your wellness. You can take a little jaunt outside, get some fresh air, do a few stretches, really come back into yourself, depending on what your next current priority is. Perhaps a walk would be the thing that you need to set the reset button. And then lastly is sort of quality eating and quality sleep. Those go together. We want to nourish ourselves with the very best habits in mind. Embracing those tips as you shift from one priority to the next will help you achieve the balance that you're looking for. And you're really going to be present and be able to focus in more on that next priority with a little bit more ease. Lastly, here we're going to consider nature as a great teacher for us insofar as looking at a bigger scale for balance. So, whilst we have the seasons in the natural world, we're going to also look at how that could be reflected in our human lives. So, in the Northern Hemisphere, the 4 main seasons, and they're not all equal in what takes place in each season. And this happens as well with us. So, we don't need to be full on and actively participative. Fully engaged in all activities all the time. We can have seasons as well. So, for example, springtime, we might have periods of growth and renewal and the time for planting new seeds of thought, for example. We also have periods of intense activity like we see in summertime, where everything's blooming and flourishing. We have more light, and so we're outdoors more, which requires more effort from us as well. Then we move into fall. This is a period for transition and harvest. So we're collecting the good of all of the seeds that have been sown. We're collecting and harvesting and reaping the rewards of our efforts. And it's also a period of time to transition. So at the same time, we are preparing for a winter's rest. We are conserving our energy. We are very reflective and really taking the time to be still and to restore our energies. Noticing how nature is a cyclical process helps us see balance in a new way where we have energy output into our different activities at different rates as well. And you might notice how your body naturally wants to tune into those cyclical seasonal patterns as well. Understanding this and how the seasons are reflected back within us helps you to not feel guilty, right? We're releasing these old patterns of thought where we have to be equally balanced in all our activities all the time. Poof, gone. And now we can anticipate change and we can be more dedicated to our current priorities and move those forwards with a little bit more grace with ourselves. And we're defining success and balance on a larger scale rather than just daily. We're looking at moment to moment. Am I giving my best in that present current priority? But additionally, am I over, say, a year period, am I adjusting and recalibrating based on the season and based on the priorities that need my attention? The good news is you don't need drastic changes. These are just little pivots in perspective, that balance is not rigid, it's not equal all the time, and that overall we are looking to enjoy the fullest of each moment and at the same time attuning with seasonal shifts. And when we do this, we live a little lighter and merrier. Thanks for walking with me today. It's sunset o'clock, so time for me to get home, get some dinner ready. I would love to hear from you. What are your tips for shifting perspective around work-life balance? Bye for now.